this is going to be a supplementary repacking, packing, repacking, packing video. Stick around because I don't know what's going to happen and I'm kind of intrigued. I've packed completely this 70 litre, hello, this Sosei 70 litre pack. Now, you will note, if you can see my hands there, that obviously it's not right to the top, but I can't take it to the top because I need to be able to close it. So that's pretty much as I can get in there, which, to be fair, is everything that I will need for this trip. And you can see that I would be able to close it. I would be able to get, you know, a little bit more in. The only thing is I can only turn it 1-2 times like that. I don't think I'd be able to turn it a third time. I must admit I do prefer to be able to do 3 turns, but I would only be able to do 2. So it just got me thinking, I'm not going to put everything in this pack here in the HMG 70 because, you know, clearly, obviously, it will fit in there without any question whatsoever. I am, however, just intrigued as to whether it will fit in my, hello again, in my MLD Exodus pack, which is about 55-60 litres. And I'm also kind of interested as to whether it will fit in the Gregory pack and how much space it uses. Now, I've put a few things in hip pockets in the front and the side, so we're not going to touch any of that stuff because anything that's in side pockets, front, you know, like shelters and such, you know, will easily fit. Even though the Gregory front is disappointingly small, you know, I would get it in there. The MLD one is, Ron has a very substantial front there. Ron's got a very substantial frontage, so we know the weathers in the front and the sides will fit in there. One other thing that I just wanted to briefly interrupt. Don, that's my Burgess Extreme Packlight jacket that I've had for absolute donkeys years. There's even a medium. I must have had this. Given that this is a medium, do excuse the interruption into the packing video for a completely different subject for one viewer, but he is a viewer that watches every video all the time right to the end, so kind of just bear with me. Given that it's a medium, I would have bought that probably in like 2002, 3, 4, you know, a good 20 years ago, because after I did a bit more walking I started to buy things in small, and I kind of maybe sillily, you know, considered Burgess to be, you know, not as good as the Arc'teryx that I was buying. But I mean, you know, it looks in very good condition, and I've got the trousers. I don't see the trousers at the moment. I did have the trousers. They're probably around somewhere. That's some different trousers there. I put those out because I forgot to put waterproof trousers in, so I just put those. Back to the video at hand. From the end of the last video on packing, we have added a couple of things, because obviously this is a packing video for dogs. So I put a little bit more food in. I put some dog treats in. I put some rawhide bones in because she's 4 months old, so she's probably teething soon. Wind shirt. I put the Trail Star in. Not planning on using it, but just in case the Duromid fails. The only reason is it's like 12, 13, 14 years old. It's the original Cuban fibre, and obviously it's, you know, it doesn't last forever. I've changed to that and that because I want to do a stake, which I haven't put in yet. We've got the solar panel. We'll take extra gas because you always need a bit more gas if you're cooking. Mashed potato. I put a chair in because I might sit down. So that's everything outside of the huge internal stuff sack. I may not put every single thing of this in the other packs. One, we might not get it all fitted in, and two, it might be that we get everything in so well that it's clear that there is plenty of room, you know. So we'll play it by ear, because I don't know what's going to happen. I haven't tried this, and I must admit I really do not like unpacking after I've got a pack packed, but just curiosity really has peaked, because when this was a 70 litre pack, so say, and I'm just surprised at how little, I was surprised that, I had difficulty closing it. Well, I got everything in, but I was expecting to get more in. I'm not going to... So that's everything out. Just my steak knife, but that's every single thing out. Like I said, I'm not going to bother packing everything, in that. Let's try the Gregory first, because I'm pretty sure, I think I'm going to get everything in the Gregory that I've just taken out. And the Gregory is a 58 litre pack. So let's see, and at least with this I don't have to worry about the back support or back frame or anything. So let's get that packed in there, and then that's the quilt for Bella. I mean, to be fair, that does take up quite a bit of room, but let's get that squished down. Then that's the bed. Squish that down. The next thing that we put in was food. So I'll put that one in, and that one in, and then with that I can give that a really good squish down. It's not the best way of doing it. And put that food in. So that's my That's my food. Get that squished down. Really, we're just trying to see if we can get everything in. The order, to be fair, doesn't really matter. Tea-star. My torch, because it's like a bit delicate, I'm not going to just shove that in willy-nilly. And quite literally, it's not going to take up any room. There's room there. Toilet paper will go there. Leggings. Right, okay. Actually, that we'll put near the top. The next bulky thing is that. So we had that in. That's in. Right, we're getting, not only are we getting everything in, it will be interesting to see, okay, the solar panel, I'm not going to try and put that in, and this little light, you know, they're so small things that I'm not going to worry about those, because obviously they would go in the top, the sides, you know, they're just the toy, the treats, that power packs, that and I think the last thing is that, and that goes in there, like I said. So what I've not put in is the torch and that light and that there, and that fits in a 58 litre pack, and I can do the lid up completely fully. That fitted in there perfectly. Right, that is a little bit surprising, to be honest, given that that's a 70 litre pack and this is a 58 litre pack. Okay. Let's get everything. Get everything out now. And just bearing in mind, I could do the top up of this very easily, and I could have put more in and just not done the top up so easily, but it wouldn't have mattered because it's got a lid, so the lid would go over the top. So, you know, you would get more in here. Everything. It's a good job I turned it upside down, because this is why I don't like repacking and packing, because that's when you have the danger of leaving something behind. Right, normally I would use the airbag as a back support, but we're just doing a volume test here, so I'm not going to bother, you know, packing it for comfort or anything. You know, it is literally a volume test. You know, clearly if we can get everything in one way or another. One of the reasons why I like a pack with a back in the winter is, and I've certainly used frameless packs in the winter, primarily, that's just the rubbish bag that slips in, is primarily because it's nice to have something to sit on when you're doing some packing. But having said that, if you've got a foam mat, as I always have anyway, then, you know, that kind of covers you. Now, it's quite possible that maybe I just needed to, and I will when I repack that, you know, give it a really good extra. Now, admittedly, this is where this pack is going to struggle, because these other two packs, they're wider, you know, whereas so Ron's girth, you know, isn't as grand here, but he's gone more for length. We seem to be fixating on last few videos, we've been fixating on Ron's girth or length, but we will see. I don't think we'll get everything in here. To be fair, I don't think we will, but let's see. And as I say, this certainly isn't packed how I would normally pack. I'm trying to fill up little nooks and crannies, so I'm not really specifying what I'm putting in. I'm just trying to get every single thing in, and obviously when you're getting it tight, quite a good workout, this. That's the chair. We're going to have to put stuff, because the chair kind of is wide, it's long. So to be honest, normally I would put the chair probably in with this pack. That's my herbs. I think what I'm going to do with the chair is I'll try and put it at the top, because I think the chair is messing things. It's my herb. It's my herbs. That's a lot of herbs that have come out. See what I do. See what I do for you lot. Come on, Ron. Come on. We're kind of Come on. Have you got what it takes, Ron? Can your 55-litre pack? It cannot. It cannot. It can't be. It can't be. All right, so okay, I'm not going to worry too much about the carving knife. That we didn't put in. I think we did have the waterproofs in. we might be starting to struggle, but I mean, to be fair, I don't think even Ron's length is quite sufficient, but it's not far off there. It's really not far off. You know, I mean, we might struggle. The chair, I think, I don't think we're quite going to get everything in. I think it's at the point where, you know, I think we're at the point where that we would, that's at the point of where we can do 2 turns the same as we could. That's 2 turns just. It's close. To be fair, it's probably 1.5, but it's 2 turns, you know. By the time you've got it secured down, got that over, that's 2 turns. So we're short. So we're short 1 chair, a couple of clips, frying pan, dog bowl. So we can't get, so everything that I got in here, or the Gregory, I can't get in here, which I didn't expect to. This is a 55-litre pack, you know, including the sides and the front. So the main internal pocket of this is probably about 45 litres or something like that. That Gregory 58 just swallows, you know, the kingdom. Obviously, you know, in theory, you know, if I wasn't taking a chair to sit on and a frying pan for a steak, you'd probably get everything else in. You know, that would go on the outside. You know, your knife and your light you'd squeeze in somewhere. So really the only things that we realistically won't get in is the chair and the frying pan. And again, to be fair, you know, I think Ron's, oh god, yep, I think Ron's big front portage there probably would take, and then obviously your bungee cords and things, so you probably would get something. Okay, so we've got to take everything out. I am just a little bit surprised at how not 70 litres that Zpacks pack, you know, appears to not be everything. I mean, you don't normally take a tug toy camping with you. All right, so we've taken, that out. So that's my herbs being dragged across the floor. Okay, let's see whether we can get more than 2 turns with herbs on this now, because the first time that I packed it, to be fair, I did think I packed it, you know, really firmly. Let's get it right down into the corners. Maybe that will help. Make sure your stuff's right. Then this was the next thing. In case you're wondering, you know, what's in the outside pockets, but basically outside in the front, as I said, is the duo mid, and then outside on the front is a ground sheet. So we've got a ground sheet and the duo mid. Let's get that really squished down in there. It's the extra food that I put in. So that food we did have at the top. That's all my food for 3 days. Get that, hello, get that really squashed in there. Let's put the trail star down there, because that's quite a big bulky thing, and maybe we can really give that a good old squish there. Maybe we're squishing it better this time. You just got to remember that you can't fill it to the very, very top because it won't do up. Woo-wee! Building up, getting some calories burning here. So get the gas in there. I'm 99.9999% sure we will get there like an hour and a half into camp before dark, but I will, you know, just to be on the safe side. I kind of get the feeling that we're being able to really squish it down more this time. Maybe I needed to, you know, give it that really good squish the first time. Yeah. Let's keep going, let's keep going. Yeah. Power packs and wires and things. So we've got more than enough power this time. We've got a lot of power. We're definitely not going to get short on power. it's not going to rain, so waterproofs, trousers can go. Waterproof trousers there. Oh, my hat. I'll have to make sure I have a really good look around my hat. Okay. Herbs. Oh, herbs everywhere. Okay. Well, on the face of it, you'd kind of think that we've, and then the solar panel, but you know, we didn't do the solar panel in the other ones, but we will. I don't want to be having to unpack it anymore. Torch there. Okay, so that's, somehow we've twisted the inner a bit there, but that's okay. And probably some of those last few bits, it's not going to rain, and don't forget it's sealed anyway. Right, now then, let's have, now you saw, we squished that in. Give it another good one. Yeah, I think we're going to get more. I think we're going to get more turns this time. I think we've done better. So, 1, 2. That's as far as we got last time. 3. And we're not realistically going to get 4. So we've gained 1 turn. So clearly we would get, you know, a little bit more in there. You know, we've got 3 turns on it, which is the minimum that I really like to have, to be honest. You know, I think you can get away with 2, but I like to have 3. And you know, there's a little bit of room left in there now. We've given it a really good shove it down there. Quite an effort. So I think my conclusion is, clearly this and the Gregory we knew was going to be bigger than the Exodus anyway. You know, that was a given. I was just curious. I kind of think that if you can get this really shoved down, this is probably similar to the 58 Gregory. You know, because if you think about the Gregory, we were able to get everything in and completely do it up. And if we'd have wanted to get more in, we could have got more in and not done it up so much, and then the lid would have gone over the top. So clearly we could have got more into the Gregory. Probably, I'm going to put my neck out, I reckon that you would get a little bit more in the Gregory than you would in this. I've just about got 3 turns on it. You would get away with 2 turns. You would get away with 2 turns on it. That would be okay. So there's not much in it. There probably isn't much in it, because a puffy jacket or something like that, you could probably get in there and get a couple of turns, the same as you'd get a puffy jacket in the Gregory. To be fair, there probably isn't much in it. But the Gregory is 58 litres and this is a 70 litre pack. And we're getting pretty much the same in a 70 litre pack as a Gregory 58. What we are saving is about 600 grams. 8 and 8. No, we're saving about 800 grams in weight. The Gregory is about 1.6 to 1.6 and a half. It's about 1,650-ish grams. And this is about 800 or 900 grams. So we're saving maybe 800 grams. This is probably half the weight of the Gregory. So obviously, is it twice the pack? Given that it's probably 4 times, well, maybe not 4 times, given that it's 2 or 3 times as expensive as the Gregory, you know, is it worth 2 or 3 times as much to save half the weight? Half is half. I know it's only 800 grams you're saving, but that is half. It's a waterproof pack. The Gregory clearly isn't. I do think we would get more. I do think you will get more in this pocket here than the Gregory. That's absolute definite. Obviously the Gregory, you have a lid where probably what you can't get in here you would get in the lid. Side pockets the same. Front pockets, well, I would probably be putting water or some, you know, drinks or something. Hip pockets the same. Really, for all intents and purposes, this Zpacks 70 is the same size as a Gregory 58. That's kind of my takeaway from looking at how I've got things in the outside. I just want to have a look at the, see, I mean, that pocket there on the Gregory is pretty decent. You're going to get, you know, easily what I can get in there, you will get in these pockets here. The hip pockets there are pretty decent. I have to say that it is a little bit of a, you know, it's a little bit of a score for the Gregory in the bigger pack category. You know, obviously if you want lightweight and you haven't got, you know, a load full of winter stuff and dog food, and, you know, obviously we got a lot of extra stuff in there. But yeah, if you haven't got all of, you know, that extra stuff and you're not worried about, that Gregory is still pretty impressive. Just curious about one last thing before we finish this video, is how heavy that is. That's about 13 and a half, maximum 13 and a half. It's hovering just over 13 to 13 and a half. So it will be very interesting to see how comfortable that is, given that's, you know, 13 and a half. It's very interesting to see how much I can get in there, because if I can't get it in there, I'm probably going to struggle to get it in the Gregory. But I do think that you could probably overload the Gregory more and then, you know, get that draw cord in and then get the lid over the top. I actually think you would maybe by a whisker get more in the Gregory, just from getting that lid over. Because obviously with this, you've got to get it turned around to be, you know, to be done up. You know, if I can't get it in one of those 2 packs, I still don't have a 70-litre pack. This Zpacks better be fucking comfortable. What can you do, eh? Anyway, make sure you've liked, subscribed, hit the notification button. if you've got this far, you've obviously enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out memberships, Patreon, and other things like that to help the channel. Thanks very much. I'll see you in the next video.